Life before the war was vastly different, with humanity ruling the surface world. We had massive cities, crossed oceans, and conquered the skies. With a population of 7 billion, people were meant to breathe fresh air and live freely above ground. Everything changed dramatically with the last war. The war decimated humanity, leaving only 50,000 survivors who retreated underground. The surface became a toxic wasteland filled with monsters. While some held on to hope that future generations might return to the surface, survival became the immediate priority. People united to create a new home in the metro system. Life in the metro tunnels was challenging. Despite attempts to build a functioning society, old human flaws like corruption continued to cause problems. The community faced threats from both above and below ground, with their numbers constantly decreasing. A group of survivors maintains order at their station. Medical care is provided to those who venture to the surface, though these expeditions are increasingly discouraged. There is tension between those who want to explore the outside world and those who believe the metro is humanity's only remaining home. A shocking discovery reveals that there is life outside Moscow. A group from a village about 2 kilometers away has been searching for missing family members. This revelation contradicts everything the metro dwellers believed about being the only survivors. The truth about Moscow is exposed. The city wasn't actually isolated by the war. Instead, authorities deliberately jammed communications and created a bubble of isolation to protect against potential threats. This revelation forces some members to flee, as this knowledge is considered dangerous. The full scope of the deception becomes clear. The war never truly ended as they were told. To prevent further nuclear attacks, Command implemented a radio silence policy using jammers around Moscow. This kept the population ignorant of the outside world and potential survivors. The group embarks on a journey beyond the jamming range, encountering various settlements and facing new challenges. They discover different communities with their own systems of survival, proving that life continues beyond Moscow's borders in unexpected ways. The travelers encounter more settlements and must navigate complex social situations with different groups, including bridge guards and religious communities. They learn that survival has taken many forms outside the metro, with various groups developing their own beliefs and systems. The group discovers that a mechanic named Krest is hiding in the port area. His expertise is needed to help fix the Aurora train, since Yermak can't handle all repairs alone. There are also concerns about fanatics controlling a bridge that needs to be crossed. The bridge is confirmed to be in working order since the fanatics crossed it last year. The situation with potential enemy forces remains unclear, with speculation they may only occupy key regions. The group plans to learn more once they reach Yamantau. Krest introduces himself and explains the local cult's anti-technology beliefs. The cult members view technology as evil and attempted to imprison Krest for his mechanical skills, accusing him of being in league with Satan. Krest reveals his background as a mechanic and trader heading east for better opportunities. He arrived with a railcar of trading goods, but ran into trouble with the local cult. He offers his binoculars to help survey the area. Using the binoculars, Krest points out key locations, including the bridge with its emergency lowering mechanism, a terminal considered holy by the cult, and a former train depot now occupied by bandits. He mentions setting up safe camps in the area. A plan is formed to cross the bridge by disguising as traders, since the bridge dwellers conduct business with trading caravans. The group debates whether to bring civilians along, considering the dangers ahead and limited space on the Aurora. The final plan involves capturing a tugboat, with Duke and Krest creating a diversion while others infiltrate the control room to lower the bridge. The operation requires stealth and careful timing, with the enemy's main force concentrated at the gate. After successfully crossing the bridge, the group discovers new information from maps and documents. The journey continues as they head toward their next destination, dealing with both external threats and internal group dynamics. The group arrives at a government facility where they are expected to meet with a minister. However, the situation becomes tense as suspicions arise about the true nature of their reception and the authorities' intentions. In the sickbay area, there is relief after surviving a dangerous situation. The experience proved even worse than previous encounters with cultists on the Volga. The group narrowly escaped being eaten, discovering that their attacker may have previously been a doctor. The team discusses their findings about defense sites and headquarters. While most information links are no longer functional, some remained active for years after the war. They must now make critical decisions about their next moves. The group debates whether to return to Moscow and reveal the truth about the war and government. However, they realize this would be dangerous as Hansa would likely shoot them on sight. They begin considering the alternative of finding a habitable place to build a new colony. A plan emerges to locate a satellite communication center by the Caspian Sea that survived the war. Despite concerns about potentially encountering worse dangers than cannibals, the group agrees to proceed cautiously as they have no better options. Upon arriving at their destination, the group finds a harsh environment of sand and heat. They spot a village and notice most team members are struggling, except for a few who remain combat ready. Their immediate needs include finding water and setting up defenses. They encounter someone who explains how their people were enslaved. The area used to house a communication center where their mother worked as an officer. The region has drastically changed, with wildlife mutating and people becoming savage under the control of the oil dogs. The team successfully acquires important maps and videos. Their pressing challenges include finding water for the Aurora and crew, as several members suffer from dehydration. They learn of a well, but must deal with a local baron who has made unacceptable demands. A plan forms to steal fuel from a tanker carriage on the rails. With most enemy forces away on a raid, they see an opportunity to sneak in through the prison cellar. They aim to avoid unnecessary bloodshed, particularly regarding slaves who are viewed as innocent victims of brainwashing. The story takes a personal turn as relationships are discussed, including a touching revelation about family history and dreams of reaching Vladivostok. Despite the harsh conditions and challenges, there are moments of hope and human connection. After traveling over 4,000 kilometers in 6 months, the group discovered a potential new home location. The area features a forest and hydroelectric power plant situated away from populated regions. The location is approximately 2 days away from their current position. A wedding ceremony takes place between Stepan and Katya, with traditional vows being exchanged. A medical crisis emerges as someone falls ill, likely due to gas exposure from an ammunition dump. The symptoms suggest possible lung damage, made worse by the desert conditions. The group discusses treatment options, including antibiotics and a special medicine called Nastya that was previously used to treat gas exposure. They decide to head toward a valley with better air quality. Scouts explore the valley ahead of the main group. They discover bent and unstable rails that won't support their train Aurora. The valley's air quality is notably superior, giving hope for healing potential. They decide to take an alternate route to reach their destination. The scouts encounter territorial disputes between different groups, the pioneers and pirates. There's conflict over catching an intruder, with debates about proper treatment of outsiders according to their forest code. The situation reveals existing tensions between different factions in the valley. A woman named Olga saves someone from drowning and provides crucial information about local politics. She mentions pirates planning to attack the train and offers directions to reach the dam, suggesting using boats while avoiding confrontation with the hostile pirate group. An encounter with an admiral and his crew reveals the valley's complex social dynamics. The admiral shares stories over special tea about past conflicts, betrayals, and the valley's history. The conversation exposes deep-seated rivalries and how various groups split up over disagreements about handling threats. A crucial discovery reveals that the dam contains dangerous radioactive sediment threatening the entire valley's habitability. The group needs to evacuate quickly. Information arrives about Anna's worsening condition, adding urgency to their situation. A romantic connection develops between someone and Olga. Olga decides to stay behind despite the dangers, while others must continue their journey. The scene ends with someone in critical condition, requiring a specific medicine called Swift for treatment. The Pacific Ocean represents the ultimate destination and dream. Despite all the obstacles like rivers, mountains, and deserts encountered along the way, there is an unwavering belief that reaching the ocean is possible. The journey has been challenging and emotionally draining for everyone involved. A concerning discovery reveals that radiation levels are dangerously high, way beyond normal scanner ranges. Areas previously thought to be simple errors marked in purple actually indicate extreme radiation levels. The team is approximately 500 kilometers from their destination, with radiation levels possibly higher than those in Moscow. The mission becomes personal as they search for medicine in academic labs while also needing to keep the Aurora from getting stuck in snow. A plan forms to find a snowplow at the Technology Museum. The team must carefully monitor radiation levels and prepare specialized protective equipment for the dangerous environment. Novosibirsk presents unique challenges with radiation levels 8 times higher than Moscow. The team splits up, some heading to academic labs while others protect the Aurora. The situation is dire, but they must press forward despite the extreme risks. The team navigates through a snow-covered city with blocked metro entrances. The intact but dead city creates an eerie atmosphere. They encounter mechanical troubles with their vehicle, forcing them to proceed on foot despite rising radiation levels. They discover a survivor whose father left on a mission to retrieve an impact map from the SATCOM center. The map could potentially lead them to a radiation-free area, offering hope for a better future. Plans change as they split up to pursue both the medicine and the map. The mission takes a devastating toll with severe radiation exposure. Emergency blood transfusions become necessary to keep people alive. Despite the grave situation, there are moments of hope and connection as team members support each other through the crisis. In an emotional scene, someone is making a desperate plea to save a life, expressing their unwillingness to live without their loved one. The situation is dire as a person can barely stand but is willing to give blood to help. There is mention of America and someone wanting to stay in a clean, peaceful place forever. A transition of leadership is taking place, with someone passing on their responsibilities to a new commander. They emphasize the importance of remembering the Order's original purpose: to save all people. The scene shifts to a medical situation where someone is recovering from a fever, showing signs of improvement and just needing rest. A newfound hope emerges as they discover a clean place by Lake Baikal, just as described in a previous dream. This location becomes their new home, situated at the foot of a hill overlooking the lake. It's described as an ideal place to raise children, away from dark tunnels and under the bright sun and blue sky. The ranking officer proposes to officially transfer command of the Order to someone new. There's a realization that their new home is too spacious for just their group. Remembering the colonel's original mission to save all people, They decide it's time to fulfill this noble duty and help others.